Hi, everybody. My name is Yasha. I am the CTO and co-founder at CredenceID. We're from Oakland, California, the low-rent, high-adventure district of the Silicon Valley. In the Valley, at every corner, you'll find an entrepreneur who is pitching the next big disruptive idea or a disruptive plan. But, even if nobody's listening, by the way, but ideas in themselves are not disruptive. Change in user behavior is disruptive. And that is a common mission we all have, no matter which end of the spectrum you are or what you're doing in this room, to really induce that user behavior change when it comes to understanding and using and adopting digital credentials. Without that, we all commonly fail. So we are creating a network of hardware and software verifiers, exclusively focusing on digital ID verifiers that can give everyday users a delightful and consistent experience when they're using their digital credentials. And it's not just enough to do an app-to-app or a cloud-to-app thing. We need to be able to use it in self-checkout, kiosks, and also the holy grail of use cases, buying beer off of a kiosk, right? Now, this is not an easy challenge because verifiers don't have the luxury of exclusively living on smartphones or on cloud. I stopped carrying cash when my parking meter started accepting my credit card. And to take on this challenge, we're really grateful to SVIP to provide us the resources to add the credentials, to add the acceptance and authentication of W3C verifiable credential data model and DIDs. Now, I'll take a minute out of my precious 5 minutes. This is not just a feather in our cap, this award. 21 years ago, I got off my first flight ever, here right at Dulles, shakingly giving out my I-20 issued by USCIS to a CBP officer, hoping that they'll let me in. And as a naturalized citizen now, I've done that hundreds of times again and again. So to me, this is a mission 21 years in the making. So let us show you what we're doing. And I have all videos, and nothing will go wrong. So today, or about 2 years ago, when TSA decided to accept state-issued mobile driver's licenses at checkpoints around the United States, apps would not fit in their highly integrated, high-throughput environment. In these last 2 short years, today, a world's first dedicated mobile driver's license reader powers the CAT2 machines that allows us to fly through TSA without taking out plastic cards. And instead of waiting by the fax machine for more orders, we went on and bootstrapped to miniaturize and productize that technology so that it can be accessible to everyday relying parties at an affordable price. This 3-inch by 3-inch dedicated verifier today accepts credentials issued by 11 states residing in 7 wallets from different providers. And with the help of SVIP, we're going to add over-the-air updates, so we're going to send over-the-air updates to all these verifiers that we're deploying so that DHS credentials can be accepted as they become available. But the world is not going to turn digital overnight, right? So what we're doing is we're collaborating with leading document scanners, manufacturers of this world, to upgrade existing infrastructure to become phygital. And using this technology, CBP can now leverage the scan to verify digital credential that is, we're all excited to see on our green cards and employment authorization cards. So you saw the document go in, it scans both sides and does all IR UV visible, but now it can detect that there's an MRC at the back, calculate the proof, and make sure that the barcode in the front is the same. And for our small and medium businesses, our production apps, our production verifier apps are available today in iOS and Android app stores with that same technology that of accepting all production MDLs in the United States for free for age verification. Right? So you can get started without any upfront cost or adoption friction. And we're working closely in the standards community to make the online verification also available, or online presentment available for remote KYC use cases. And that also will get released in the same verifier family there is. Right? So all these verifiers, and I've already mentioned 4 or 5 of them, to really deploy them at scale is hard. It's not practical to do that without a management portal. So we have we call it Verify with Credence. It's a fleet management portal that allows you to manage all different verifiers of different kinds in a seamless way, including setting selective disclosure policies, trust settings, and also getting compliance reports back without any PII data ever going there. And so with this platform, you can set up age verification workflows where a bar may only ask for 21 plus, or if you are at the bank, you're going to get or give more information, along with statistics of how each wallet is performing. So my ask for many of you in this room is, since you need to help become relying party 1, if you are accepting what you're issuing and showing the rest of the world that A, it's legitimate to do it, and B, it's safer and to do it, then the rest of the world will follow. Right. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Yash. Something that keeps concerning me around this self-sovereign space and digital wallets is around, I know how hard we're working on the phone home problem and traceability from that perspective. And so something I've been thinking about is are we creating a new digital trail problem with every proof that we do with every verifier? I'm also fascinated by distribution and consolidation of technology, and so you've given me the perfect opportunity with a platform to manage verifiers. Who should be responsible? There are some cases when I'm crossing the border that it makes absolute sense that there's an audit trail and traceability that proof was shown. If I'm doing something more on the light business side or going into a liquor store, I don't think that proof should be lasting forever. Who should be responsible for that? How long that proof lives, and is that something that this platform may be able to do over multiple verifiers?
We worry about the same thing, right? So the reason we take a lot of effort, we put a secure element in our verifiers that PII never leaves the verifier itself. So the backend's only getting metadata of an ID scan happened at this time at using the verifier serial number of that. But to answer your question, it's really, that is the missing regulation. So there has to be regulation that is in place that tells which relying party is allowed to have what data for how long. Like there is regulation that TSA has, that they keep data for certain periods of time, and after that they give it away. Believe it or not, as we're on the ground floor, going merchant to merchant, telling them to, hey, start accepting mobile driver's license, you start getting into state legislature, and there is no they keep that data indefinitely. They scan that PDF 417, or they take a whole copy of it, and sometimes they're burdened by regulation to actually show proof of ID verification, right? So in many states, the merchant has to show due diligence of ID checking to not lose his liquor license. So that is something that really needs to happen at a policy level, and our platform definitely could leverage that and enforce that based on the kind of merchant we're onboarding, that they only get a certain types of profiles and they cannot create or ask for anything more than that. So that ability is there today. But we don't want to be that police.
I like the idea of like a hardware specific kind of specifically for verification. Was it hard to implement, or have you implemented selective disclosure in an interaction with somebody touching one of those?
Yep,
piece of hardware?
absolutely.
I feel like
So
there's a lot of back and forth beyond just like a green light going up in a
No, yeah.
typical
So when
engagement.
you today tap or scan your barcode, the reader has the hardware verifier, Tap to ID verifier, has a built configuration in it. So it is either configured for a check or a more detailed identity information, and the wallet will, all production wallets in the U.S. will actually show the user who is asking for what, and they give consent, and that is displayed for a short period of time for the merchant, just the way they would see a card. Like that's the equivalent of it, that you see a card and and it's gone after that. But you got the assurance that it's green, so that we checked all the certificates, we did all that good stuff. So yeah, you can trust that card.
Great, thanks.
Thank you very much, Josh.
Yep, absolutely.